All right, this is a little barn update. It is August 1st, and I have been waiting for about a month and a half for one little piece of the puzzle to start siding this barn. I was hoping to get this done in June so I could be working on the inside of the barn in July and August. But we got our wood siding here. This is a pile of wood underneath this tarp. We got that about a month and a half ago, and that's going to be going on the face of the barn. This little pile of metal here we ordered back in early June, hoping it would take about a week to get here. It's now August 1st. It arrived yesterday, and this is the key part, the very first thing that has to go on the barn before we can do the rest of the siding. So that's what today's project is. This is the wainscoting that's going to go on the side of the barn to protect the lower few feet of the barn from splash over and snow and stuff that falls off the roof. So I couldn't do anything until that's up. That's the first thing that had to go up. Yesterday, I put the first few test pieces on, and this is what it looks like. So today's job, I'm going to try and get this whole side finished today, and then I have other things to do, but this is what we're working on now. So you can't just slap the metal on. I had to build a few components with the metal brake. This J channel here cleans up the side before you hit your corner trim, which I also made on the brake. And then we have this bottom piece here. I made a kind of a box for the bottom. I don't know if you can see that. So I really like how it came out. It really closes up the bottom line there. And then the metal comes down and sits on the box. So it's a nice little trim detail. And then this is going to be a little Z trim that's going to go over the top of the ribs there. And then wood will come down and sit on this. Another little detail I'm doing is, rather than put the wood and the metal directly on the zip system, I'm putting coroplast, strips of coroplast here to set this off from the wall just a little bit. So it's about 4 millimeters away from the wall, and there are channels here for water and things to drip down and for these to vent. So any water that gets behind the panel with condensation or whatever can find its way out and drip down through these channels and then out here. And that's going to continue all the way up. So there'll be coroplast here behind the wood, so also the wood can be off of the zip system and also drain down when there's water back there. So that is the siding detail. All right, that finished off nice. First time ever putting up metal wainscoting. I'm happy with it. So this is the base trim I made on the brake. I was just going to make a little Z trim, but I saw this online and thought that was pretty cool, so little box at the bottom. Okay, now I gotta run the coroplast horizontally. All right, I learned this trick from Kyle over at RR Buildings, and I'm gonna pre-punch all of my screw holes so that it's much easier to screw through. This is actually pretty heavy gauge metal, so the screws aren't really going through very easily, but I'm going to pre-punch them with an awl. This panel was the top panel of the pile when it arrived, and it's pretty scratched up. So I'm using this as a jig, and I'm punching through the steel through all the same holes on every piece. So every single screw hole will match up looking down the side of the building. All right, there it is. Awesome. All right, I'm going to fabricate this now, this little overhang lip here, and get that assembled. Call this a day.